Hello, my name is Muhammad Harunizam bin Karton. My metric number is BB22110063, and I will present part 1. The first step is to set the variable, then sort by class in each variable that has been set to find the frequency. To find the relative frequency, the total frequency of each variable is divided by the total number of airlines. For example, the number of frequencies from 100,000 to 800,000 is 19, divided by the total number of airlines, which is 24. To find the relative cumulative frequency, the relative sum of the frequencies should be added one by one. For example, the relative frequency of the variable 100,000 to 800,000, which is 0.79, plus the variable 800,000 to 1 million, which is 0.13. The steps are repeated to find the relative and cumulative international frequencies. The following is a comparison of domestic and international relative frequency and relative cumulative frequency data present in the form of a simple bar graph.
My name is Sharizal bin Abdul Jal. My matrix number is BB22110101. I will discuss part 2, calculate and compare measure of central location in each data set. First, we find mean for domestic in international. For domestic, we add all number and divided 24. We can get the answer. For international, we also add all number at data set divided 24. The answer is mean for international is more higher than mean for domestic. Mean for international is 740,362 and for domestic is 642,697. And after that, median. Median is a middle of number at dataset. For domestic, we add two number at the middle and divided 2, and also international. Median for domestic is higher than the international. Next, we find a mood. Mood for domestic and international is 100,000. The value is same.
Hello, my name is Emma Hussein Tajam, BB22161086, and I'm presenting Part 3, calculate percentiles and construct box plot in each dataset. To do this, we must calculate the minimum value, quartile, first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, and maximum value. So after rearranging the data according to ascending order, we can see that the formula given is as shown. LP is the position located on the percentile and N is the sample size. For example, for 25th percentile in dataset for domestic airlines is 6.25 after using the formula. This shows that the 25th percentile is between the 6th and the 7th observation. For the 50th percentile, we get 12.5, and the 75th percentile, we get 18.75. Here we can establish that they are non-integers. After this, we can get our answers on the value of each percentile for both domestic and international airlines, as shown in the slides. Next is to determine the outliers. The formula used to find the outliers is as shown. When substitute the value obtained earlier from the domestic airline into the formula, we will get the value negative 662,306.75 and 1,480,383.25. For international, we will get negative 13,136.75 and 271,993.75. Airline, the minimum value is as shown, and Q1 median Q3 is the data we calculated for the percentile just now. And the maximum value will be on the right.
Okay, next I will be explaining on part 4, which is the measures of dispersion. I'll talk about the variance, standard deviation, and coefficient of variation. Firstly, we'll be looking at variance. The formula for variation is the total of the data minus sample mean with the power of 2 divided by n minus 1. As we can see from the calculations here, we can see that the variance for both the domestic and international. We can conclude that the domestic has higher variance value than the international. Secondly, standard deviation. The formula for standard deviation is square root of variance. After calculating, from the slide here, we can see that the domestic standard deviation value is bigger than the international standard deviation value. This means that the domestic standard deviation value is more dispersed from the mean than the value of international standard deviation. Lastly, coefficient of variation, or we can call it as CV. The formula for CV is standard deviation divided by the sample mean. We can see from the slide that the calculations for both domestic and international. After calculating, domestic has bigger CV value, which means that the higher the coefficient of variation, the greater the level of dispersion around the mean.
Hello, my name is Melvin Rizbin Madius, metric number BB201104442. Okay, my part is part 5, which is calculate and interpret measure of association. Yes. Using the formula and the given data, the correlation coefficient is 0.984. The correlation coefficient is close to 1, indicating the strong positive linear association between domestic and international passenger traffic. This means that when domestic passenger traffic increase, international passenger traffic also increase. Okay, for the covariance between domestic and international passenger traffic is positive, indicating a positive relationship between the two variables. This means that when domestic passenger traffic increase, international passenger traffic also tend to increase. However, the magnitude of covariance depends on the scale of the variables and cannot be used to compare the strength of the relationship between variables.